Hey guys, it's Donna Rudowitz. And today I have a very special message for you. Yesterday, I had quite an interesting day. I had a conversation with a colleague of mine, Linda Downey. And if you haven't seen the Facebook Live, I posted it on my Donna Rudowitz, LCSW, and Coach the business page. But we were kind of having a wine conversation, a very casual conversation, talking about cleaning the slate of 2020 and how we're going to move into 2021. And Linda is a health coach. So she helps people with autoimmune disorders and things that are affecting their physical lifestyles that and not enabling them to live an amazing life. And with that said, she had found this wine that is has no pesticides, there's no sugar, that it's natural. So she had sent me a bottle and we were kind of tasting the wine. It was my first time tasting this wine, which by the way is very good. It's delicious. So for those of you who don't know, that I really do truly enjoy red wine. However, some red wines, the moment I take a sip of it, I experience a flushing sort of effect, and my face will become flushed and I'll feel like I'll have a cold. So it's definitely something in the wine that affects the way that I feel. But this wine, which I'm happy to report, wasn't. It was a delicious, delicious wine. And the reason, long story short, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is when I opened up the cork out of this wine bottle, what was imprinted on the cork was clean, crafted, and commitment. And to me, when I pulled this cork out, I felt that these two words, clean crafted and commitment, were two words that we could use as our foundation for 2021. Clean crafted meaning that we are going to be mindful and conscious of the thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors for our emotional set point. We're going to be conscious of the foods and the drinks that we're going to be inputting into our body. We're going to be conscious of what it is that we're breathing, what it is that we're eating, what it is, the sleeping. So all of the parts of what makes our physical body run well, we're going to be clean, crafted, and conscious of that. And secondly, we're going to have the commitment. And that is the commitment that it's not if we're going to reach our goals, it's just when, that we are 100% committed to our future. We are 100% committed to our goals, and that the learning process, and this is something that I think is really important just to grasp, is that your goal may not be met right away, right? So you may have a goal that you're saying, okay, I want to achieve XYZ, but that goal may not happen during a 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month period. So what we're going to do is actually look at our goals and look at the months as learning, right? Looking at it as in a curious way of learning and testing, right? So as we're moving towards our goal, is as we're making the shifts and the changes in the way that we think and the way that we show up for the world and the people that we're interacting with, is we're going to take a moment to notice, what is that doing for us? How is it serving us? How is it not? Right? So for the rest of December, in your outcome of who you are moving up into, who you already are, but you haven't quite manifested that, right? So your ideal self. And you guys know that my example is CEO Donna, right? So as I'm moving up into the CEO Donna of managing, and that means CEO is the managing of my business, it's the managing of my home, it's the managing of my life, it's all encompassing. So it's thinking, okay, if this is my identity and I'm operating from this identity, what are the things for December? What is my goal for December? And then I'm going to be trying and experimenting different things to reach my goal. And if I reach my goal, great. And if I don't reach my goal, I get to kind of take a step back and say, what did I learn? What worked? What didn't work? Now, January comes, right? January 2021. And I get to look back at December and say, okay, here's what worked really well for me for sleep. When I went to bed an hour earlier or night, or here's what worked really well in the way I was eating. I ate smaller meals during the day, and that enabled me to have more stamina as I was able to handle things. Or maybe I woke up a little earlier and did my gratitude work in the morning, and I realized that worked for me. And then you begin to learn what works for you and what doesn't. So your goal we need to make this goal for you, and we need to make what it is you're moving towards and the desires you want, they have to be sustainable. See, so many people will decide that they want something, they go full force, and then it doesn't happen, and then they give up. That's not us at Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond. What we're going to do is each month is going to be a testing point for us. We're going to look at what worked and what didn't work. And what didn't work, we're going to say goodbye to. We don't need to repeat it. And what did work, we're going to move that into the next month and then say, great, okay, here's what I'm starting with. I'm starting with it this month. And now next month, here's where I'm going. Right? So you're moving forward into what it is you want, and where you're going is going to be a consistent check-in and checkpoint to where am I today? Where am I going tomorrow? What's working and what's not? It's stepping into having fun, being curious, stepping into a place of play. Because when our goals and our outcomes and our dreams and our desires become, when we allow it to be playful, when we allow ourselves to have expansion, when we allow ourselves to look at it from a place of curiousness, it really does become fun, because we no longer are bound to what I call the muggle world of thinking, which is that it has to be hard, that things can't happen, and that maybe it's not possible for me, and oh my gosh, maybe she could have it, but I know that's not possible for me. That's the muggle world. When we could remove ourselves from that, because we know that any goal that we want, any desire that we want, we could achieve, because we now have the strategy, the system, the mindset, the neural pathways that we're creating. It's really just, once we learn them, it's rinse, wash, and repeat. So we're no longer worried if we could have something. It's just a matter of when. And if we don't have it in the time frame we're looking, we don't have to get worried, and we don't have to throw a fit, and we don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We could just really look at it and do an assessment and say, okay, what worked for me this month? What were the things that I did for my physiological state of being? What were the things that I did for my psychological, emotional, mental health? What were the things that I did for my physical health, right? And when we look at all of those pieces, we could then assess, great, this worked for us, and we're going to take it forward. And we also assess what didn't work for us, and we leave it behind. Because this is the gift. If the gift of knowing that you could have, be, do, and achieve anything it is that you want. And that no matter what anyone has told you in the past, no matter what obstacles you have achieved, no matter how many times, maybe it was your husband, maybe it was a family member, maybe it was someone at work who has minimized you, or who has gaslighted you, or has told you otherwise, that's their story. That is not your story. So it's very important that you give back their story to that person. It no longer serves you. You do not need it. It is not yours. You give it back. Right? You give back their story. And this is your opportunity to slide into 2021 with creating a brand new story. 2020 is now past. It's behind us. We put a period at the end of it, and we get to create this new story. So this is an opportunity for you over this next week or so, as the office is closed through January 4th. This is your opportunity to get quiet and really go within and get clear on what it is you want. And if you can't, if you say, Donna, I'm not sure, I can't really define what it is I want, then go into the feeling of what you would like to be feeling. So if you and I were connecting 1 year from now, what is that feeling you would like to feel? Would you like to be bringing in a relationship where you could feel that person with you, that you are completely connected, that you trust him, he trusts you, that he comes, he's trustworthy, he's honest, that you respond in kind to one another, that you're able to be the strong, independent, beautiful woman that you are, and yet lean into him at the end of the day, where you feel safe and he's not emasculated by your power. He actually appreciates your power because he's strong enough in his own power to receive you, right? Is thinking about the things that you really want and begin to put the outcome, right? Begin to step into that identity of who you are. So the next couple of weeks are going to be pivotal for you. This is a perfect time. And I don't think I could think of a better time to really sit down and begin to map that out. And sitting, not only mapping out for you and your future, but also for your families, right? As we do a lot of work here at Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond, and wiping out the past, wiping out generational curses that have affected and plagued our families for years. You know, there's a saying that says that I didn't come from a family or great family, but my great family is starting with me. That you are starting that line for your future. You are starting that line for your children, for the generations to come. So I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year, and sit back over the next week or so, think about what it is you want, catch up on any of the trainings that you may have been, that you're not caught up on, and also use this as an opportunity to go through and re listen to some things that your heart is leading you towards. I feel like this time of year especially is a very mystical and magical time. I believe and I feel it's one of the closest times that we have to the divine. It's just there's something about it. There's something in the air. So this is a wonderful time to again sit back, to go within, to hear where you're being led, to experience and explore, have fun, be playful, look at where you're going in December, and then maybe begin starting January 2021 is to step into this. I'm going to look at each month and I'm going to learn from each month. And that's going to be my feedback. That's going to let me know what worked for me and what didn't. And so we become excited. We become forward thinking. We become hopeful. And I'm standing in that with you because I know what you have inside. You have greatness inside of you that is just waiting to be unleashed. And you get to decide how that greatness is going to be unleashed. You are the potter. You have clay in front of you that you get to create this masterpiece who is you. You get to create it, not based upon what your ex-husband said, not based upon what a parent said, based upon what someone at your job is saying, but what you are saying. So from my house to yours, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. Have a very Merry Christmas. Have a very blessed, healthy, happy New Year. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.